And we are live. Welcome everybody to the pay-per-view posting discussion of stuff, because I am completely prepared for this. So of course, after every pay-per-view, at some point during their week, we go into detail discussing loud keyboard tapping and the pay-per-view that we have watched a while ago. So I think we need to go into the payback pay-per-view. The payback pay-per-view, but of course, as you guys know by now, I am never alone when I do these things, because I spend the rest of my life being forever alone. But joining me is my usual, I suppose, tag team partners, even though we technically be a trio. I don't know. Are we a tag team, a trio, a stable, a unit?
Wouldn't it be a stable?
A nation?
Nah, stable works.
A ministry? I don't know.
There he goes again.
I know he's making references to things.
But yeah, joining me. Joining me is Take a Soul Girl, live from whatever casket she's hanging out in at the moment.
Hey guys, hanging out with Undertaker in a casket. Haha, no, I'm kidding. Ew, that sounds wrong now that I think about it.
Oh.
Stop sharing caskets. It's not healthy. And the other member of the trifecta. I have a new nickname for her, and I'm going to use it. I don't use your official name as canon anymore. For me, you will always be Bo Dallas's Country Bumpkin. Hello.
Hi guys.
So, the Payback pay-per-view. The Payback pay-per-view. How long until people realise that I haven't watched much of it because of work and stuff? But yeah. So I think the first thing we want to go into is the pre-show, Hair versus Mask, and how we all predicted it.
I think we all said El Torito. Or
we did. We did. No, we did because there was no way they were going to unmask El Torito.
Yeah, we all said El Torito on that one.
And they didn't.
Yeah, we were right.
Yeah.
Yay!
So yeah, Hornswoggle is now bald.
Actually, mullet.
Oh yeah. Well, Hornswoggle. I don't know.
He has more hair than the other two.
He has a mullet.
Yeah.
Which, if no one knows what a mullet is, it's a 90s hairdo that Billy Ray Cyrus might think with achy breaky heart.
Yeah.
But El Torito won the match. So what do we think? Good match, bad match, pre-show match? What was it?
Interesting, I would say.
I didn't see it, so I can't say.
We're back to our standard thing where nobody watches the pre-show. Hurrah!
Yay! Because you don't really get to see midget wrestling that much in WWE, so it's kind of neat to get to see Hornswoggle actually face somebody his own size other than face somebody that's taller.
Has somebody got a telly on in the background?
That would be me.
Can you? Oh yeah. So yeah, we start the official part of the pay-per-view with a United States title match, Cesaro versus Sheamus. I called this one completely wrong.
Yes, you did. You called Cesaro. We called Sheamus.
The Walrus's man loses. Yay for that.
Hurrah!
I had a bad prediction show this month. But yeah, it looks like they really are going somewhere with Sheamus. And that is
Paul Heyman's guy lost. I am jumping up and down. And no, I'm not. Actually, no, we didn't. That's kind of hard to do,
Well,
unfortunately.
we shut the walrus up.
So,
We shut the
yeah,
walrus up for
so
one.
Still though, I think Cesaro looked good in the match, which is Cesaro put on a good showing, and he's the kind of guy who can get over even if he's losing.
It was a pretty intense match. They had several pinfalls on each other. They did. Of course, they both were just. It was really intense, but all in all, it was a really decent. It was one of the best matches of the night, I would say.
And it does keep Cesaro strong, ending it with a small package.
It does, but
Paul Heyman won't shut up about that. But
Yeah.
Paul Heyman,
So.
no, not.
We also have the Rhodes Dynasty versus Ryback.
we didn't know about this one.
So we didn't know about this one until the last minute. This was one of those last minute add-in matches, so that's why there was no prediction on that one.
And I'm not sure. Cody and Goldust lost.
Okay, basically what it was that Cody feels like because they haven't won a match, he's blaming himself, and he thinks that Goldust needs to find a good tag team partner that can help him win. Cody said that Goldust would always be his brother, but he could no longer be his tag team partner.
So
Cody felt like he was keeping Goldust from getting the titles. He felt like it was his fault.
Is it just me, or do you see Cody coming back with a slightly altered gimmick and thus being a different wrestler?
I think he could be. Cody
sticks on a luchador mask or something, and he's Codius Rhodes or something.
Cody sort of had these weird gimmicks.
Don't take a shot at Tyson Kidd, please, or I'll shoot you in the face.
We'll talk about that.
Later. But I think what it is that Cody has had so many different gimmicks over the last several years that they can't find one that really fits. If they find one that really fits Cody, he can really run with it. Cody's got a great...
I was a really big fan of Dashing Cody Rhodes. I really liked him as that pompous tosser.
That was a good gimmick, but it was also a little bit annoying. But I think the one gimmick that I liked with Cody was when he first started, not before Legacy, actually, pre-Legacy. That was a gimmick I liked.
What? You mean when he was just generic? When he was just generic young Cody Rhodes and was tagging it with Bob Holly?
When he was just generically being the son of Dusty Rhodes, that was what fit Cody, because Cody is a rare one. He's a third generation. He's technically a third generation. That's a rare thing nowadays.
Yeah, if he was third generation, his grandfather would have had to wrestle too.
Well, okay, not third generation, but I keep counting Gold because Dustin's older. That's why I say third generation, because Dustin's older than him.
No, they're both second.
I know. That's why I keep saying third, because I always think that. But yeah, you're right. He's second. But Cody's talent is amazing. He's been Intercontinental Champion. He's been Tag Team Champion. He could literally go for the big championship and do something amazing if they could book him correctly. But that's WWE's problem. They get these amazing wrestlers in here and they don't know how to book them.
Yeah.
And because that's what basically happened with Ted DiBiase Jr. He had an amazing talent. He was great in the ring. He was an amazing face. He didn't make a very good heel, but he was an amazing face. He had an amazing fan base, but they just didn't know how to book him. They didn't know what to do with him because they tried so hard. They were trying so hard to make him out to be his dad when he's not.
That's the problem with second generation.
He's not his. He's not his dad.
That's the problem with second generation
superstars. They try to make them out to be their parent.
Yeah.
And honestly, if Dustin sort of created the Goldust thing on his own. Dustin sort of Dustin had to go through several gimmicks till he got the one that fit him, which was Goldust.
As weird as it is.
as weird as it is, that's an amazing gimmick. But Dustin, like I said, Dustin had to go through several different gimmicks.
But it's a lot. Notice now though, he's a lot less perverted.
Yeah, he's a lot more. It's a lot more sort of PG-13 rated Goldust than he was back in the Attitude Era compared to rated R pervert Goldust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember 7? Where it was a gimmick of Dustin's between stints as Goldust, where he was pretty much just a child molester.
Yeah.
In WCW, yeah. It lasted all of 1 week.
Mostly because WCW does not know what the hell they do with any. WCW didn't know what the hell to do with anybody.
But yeah, the next match we have to look at is Big E versus Rusev, and the way to describe this match is simply, in the words of Lana, Rusev Crush.
This was basically this.
Not exactly, because
This kind of match could possibly have caused World War III.
yeah, Rusev crushed him.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure I'm comfortable with the whole let's put Vladimir Putin over as one of the greatest men in history.
Yeah,
That guy's a bit of a despot.
Okay, this is me. They're letting her get away with this?
It's gonna cause, honestly.
Well, the thing is, they're making her do it. Lana's from California.
She's from California, but her family lived in Russia for many years because her father was a Christian missionary. So she was born in California, but she was raised in Russia for a long time.
But you know, it's an interesting. I like the gimmick. I like the gimmick.
I'm gonna make a point when we get to Raw about something about what happened Monday night, and I'm gonna point out how this could possibly be a big problem. But I'm just gonna point that out later.
Yeah. So the next, obviously we've got Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella. Is she Brie Bella? Brie Bryan? What is she now?
She's Brie Danielson.
I think in WWE she's Brie Bryan.
Talking about in the WWE, not her life.
Brie Bryan then. Brie Bryan.
No, in WWE she still goes by Bella. She hasn't changed her name in WWE.
Yeah, I'm just going to refer to her as Brie Bryan for the sake of it. Yeah, they're talking because they've got a big decision coming up. Daniel Bryan is going to hand over the championship, or Brie's fired. So yeah, it's not like this one's going to end with absolutely no consequence whatsoever. Anyway, let's go on to I suppose the biggest match of the night: Kofi Kingston versus your flavor of the month thing.
I am not Summer Rae. I do not change wrestlers like I change underpants. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll go with that, Randy's Viper Girl. I can go with that, yeah.
Oh Lord,
Yeah, we didn't know that this was gonna happen, so there was no prediction on this one either, guys.
No, there's no prediction on it. And the thing about this
and to be honest, there was no prediction on it, and there was no winner either.
Thank you, Kane. What the fuck are you
saying? His brother decided he was gonna come out there and tombstone Kofi to death.
Big brother, where are you?
That's my point. Where are you when we...
Actually, I know where he is. He's at home nursing a concussion, but still.
And then, of course, we go to the next match of the night. Go on then.
Which is what... Never mind, go
on. We then go to the Intercontinental Championship between Rob Van Dam and my boy, Bad News Barrett.
I cannot believe Robin and I contradicted ourselves on this one.
Yeah, because we were like, oh, we don't like Wade Barrett, but we have to pick him.
Yeah,
and I'm afraid I've got some bad news. I'm still the champion.
Good for you.
No.
And Tom, the way you talk about Wade Barrett, you think he was a member of the royal family.
What? He should be.
Oh,
Bad News Barrett, heir to the throne. I'm booking it.
He gives birth to hot people, not ugly people.
What?
I said Princess Diana gave birth to hot people, not ugly people.
True.
Yeah, but you do realize the actual heir to the throne has big ears, right? I mean, there's actually an heir to the throne before the guy that you're talking about.
Yeah, we know.
His daddy.
He's also bald. Just saying.
Yeah. So, the bad news is Barrett wins, which is
I'm
good.
putting this out there. I'm putting this out there. Even though I picked Wade Barrett, he can go die in a hole.
But I will say this. RVD and Wade Barrett definitely gave each other one hell of a battle because that was a good match.
Yeah.
It was one hell of a match. It was good. And it was very physical. And it was definitely a match that, personally, I would like to see how long they work this rivalry out because this could be one of those rivals that lasts a little while.
I'd quite like to see somebody else in the title picture against Barrett.
Yeah, well, you don't like RVD. What a big surprise!
Although, to be honest, I'd be quite game with them merging the two mid-range titles and doing the Barrett Sheamus feud, and I think that's where they're going with it.
They talked about doing that with Big E and Dean Ambrose a couple back around Chamber.
Yeah, but
the
thing with Barrett and Sheamus is they're both hard-hitting people from the United Kingdom, and that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, not to mention Ireland and England can't really stand each other.
Yeah, so it would work.
Yep.
So there you go, WWE. That's what you need to book. So it's now time for what they've been promoting this card around, which is the Daniel Bryan Stephanie McMahon segment. I'm not going to go into much detail about this, but Brie quits.
Basically,
And slap Stephanie across the face. Wahaha.
and it's being called the Slap Her Around the World. Which is
so it makes you think.
The shot heard around the world.
So
I got a question, guys.
yeah.
How long before we find out that Brie Bella is pregnant?
Give it another week.
Yeah. Has that come out? Because that wouldn't surprise me.
What I heard was that what I read a couple of days ago was that it's possible that she is, but if she is, they're keeping it quiet.
It makes sense. It makes sense for her to quit so she can disappear for a bit. But the whole it feels like it's no consequence because they promoted the hell out of it.
It's like John said Monday night. Daniel is not going to surrender that title because after the 8 months of hell he went through to get that title, there's no guarantee that they'll give him another shot.
What I mean is, they promoted it as there was going to be one of two things: A, he gives up the title, or B, she gets fired. In the end, option C happened, where she quit on her own accord. If she was going to quit, couldn't she have quit? It all makes sense, but at the same time,
if she was going to quit, she would have, I think if she was going to quit, she wanted it to be, she wasn't just going to come out and say, okay, I'm sorry, I have to quit. She wanted to play it up in the storyline because don't you think it looked better when she?
Yeah, I suppose. Let's just put it down to drama, I suppose.
Yeah, put it down to basically, they wanted it. Everybody knows Stephanie can't stand Daniel. Everybody knows Bree kind of hates Stephanie because she blames Stephanie for what happened to Daniel. So to make it look more dramatic and to make the storyline more interesting, they had Bree just quit on her own and then slap Stephanie and then got it over with. But let's face it, you guys, somebody's been wanting to slap Stephanie lately.
Yeah. So.
And the superstars aren't allowed to.
No, but it's not the first time she's been slapped, and it will not be the last time she's been slapped.
So, weapons at the ready. I'm about to be sandblasted because the next match is the one that you've been waiting for.
And I'm just gonna sit here and listen.
I don't think I'm gonna get a word in edgeways either. So go for it.
So the next match on the card is the last man standing match with John Cena and the Usos versus Bray Wyatt and his wackadoo family. So
Technically,
technically it was 1-on-1.
Technically it was 1-on-1, but the Usos were out to sort of handle wackadoos 2 and 3. So the match started off. It was I'm not gonna lie. This match, at first, I was really nervous because I didn't know if the Usos were actually going to come out and be back up. And I was nervous. Robin can vouch. The whole time she's telling me, don't scream, don't
scream. It was nerve-wracking until it turned into John Cena and Bray Wyatt having a bunch of gay moments.
Exactly, that's what it turned into. This was not your typical last man standing match. It was technically a sexual assault match.
It turned into John Cena and Bray Wyatt having a bunch of gay moments. Like Bray Wyatt kept looking at his ass.
Because, honest to God, I've never seen so many gay moments in one match. I don't count after 20. Every time you turned around. Every time I turned around, Bray Wyatt was looking at John's ass. And I'm just like, stop looking at my man's ass, dude. But no, it was a really good match. The one thing that I will point out is that it seemed like maybe the standards for last man standing has changed a little bit because it was contained basically in the ring and ringside. It never really went out anywhere like you normally see. Normally, you get them, up in the back. You get them in the back. You get them up in the stands.
Stage and all over the place.
You get them all over the arena. But this was basically.
Is it just me, or did other people take it the wrong way where you said you get him up the back after what you were just talking about?
Yeah, dirty Tom, fuck off!
It's me having perverted mind.
I might not be able to take you into my little family, John, but I'm sure as hell gonna rape you.
Yeah, keep your freaking little ass off
yourself, dude.
But no, the match was, the Usos did a great job as far as backup goes. They did some amazing things with the Wyatts, the tables, the coming out with all this stuff. It was an amazing match. It was one of John's better matches. I will point out that Bray Wyatt bled twice.
So he is human! Blah!
Any of you buzzard followers out there, your so-called God is human. Just gonna point that out. The man is human. As John told Wade Barrett 4 years ago, you are human. And that's exactly it. But anyway, the match was amazing. The back and forth between the two was amazing. The sexual assaulting was a little.
That was a little bit weird.
But the interesting thing though is at the end is when they really got into the tech, which of course usually this stuff does spill over into tech, and John double A's Bray Wyatt into the, I'm gonna call it a tech suitcase thing. I don't know what you call it, but a tech suitcase thing, and sort of kind of does a Taker tribute move by putting another one on top and sort of
standing on it,
sort of to coin a phrase, bury Bray Wyatt, bury the Eater of Worlds. So a little, but all in all, I'll give this match just 2 thumbs up, and I will say this, I can't believe I'm going to say it, but Bray Wyatt literally proved to me that behind the wacko and behind the gimmick,
there's a good wrestler there.
He is actually very talented, and I will give him that. He actually is a very talented wrestler. Behind the gimmick, you take away the gimmick, you take away the wacko, you take away all that stuff, you've got a very decent wrestler.
Yeah.
So, and I will say this, I might not like his gimmick, I might not like the person that he plays, but I do respect the man behind the gimmick. He has 100% earned my respect. The man behind the gimmick earned my respect Sunday night because he proved to me that if they were to, now I'm not saying Bray Wyatt's not a good gimmick, it's a scary gimmick, but if they were to say, go back and rework him and take away the Bray Wyatt gimmick, you would have probably one of the best up-and-coming wrestlers in the company right now.
Thing is, though, the Bray Wyatt thing, like you said before, it fits.
It does fit. It fits because, look, his dad was the IRS guy.
His dad's Arthur Shyster? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, his dad's the IRS.
You didn't know?
I didn't know that, no.
He and Bo are, Bo and, well, you knew Bo and Bray Wyatt were brothers, but yeah, their dad is the IRS man.
That's funny.
And that's why I think it's so easy for Bo and Bray to play these two guys, because they can sort of pull ideas from their dad. Use stuff that they're, sort of take their dad's character but make it something different.
All I'm going to say is Bo is very irritating.
Bo is irritating, but you think about it. He probably pulled a few elements from his dad's character, because from what I gathered, the IRS men were very irritating. But you pull it from, you pull some elements from the IRS man to put into Bo, you pull some elements from the IRS man to pull into Bray, and you've got two amazing wrestlers with two very weird gimmicks, but then again, you look at the gimmick that their dad had. But that's sort of that's what we were talking about earlier when we said second generation. These two are second generation superstars. And as weird as it sounds, as weird as I'm going to say this, I personally think if they were to change Wyatt's gimmick up, I could see maybe him doing something a little more like his dad, but doing something completely opposite. Do something opposite of his dad. Just do something.
Don't mind me. I'm just talking to the audience on the chat. Keep going.
Sorry, but yeah, it's the match was, as much as I am gonna gloat, and I am very happy that John won. Don't get me wrong, I love the fact that he won. It wasn't, to me. It's not about the gloating. To me, it's to look at it from a different perspective. To me, it was about two guys who basically, probably outside of the ring, I could see a lot of respect between John and Bray Wyatt.
Frankly, the only reason she's gloating is because somebody else does it to her all the time.
Yeah, you always gloat.
Hey. Yeah, what can I say? I've been following the Buzzards for about a year now. I've kind of lapped Florida now. In all the Buzzard following, I'm starting to wonder if the Buzzards just go around in circles.
But they do. That's what they do. They circle. But I will say, and I am going to give big props to Bray Wyatt for. A last man standing match is not easy, especially for somebody that's still up and coming in the company. A last man standing match is not easy. It's not one of the easiest matches in the world. It's a very hard match. It's a very exhausting. It's very frustrating. It's also very.
The easiest match in the world is if you put two guys in a ring and it's a standard wrestling match.
Yeah, that's the easiest match. But a last man standing, for someone that's still up and coming, for someone that has a possibly good future in the company, I would say he definitely showed me Sunday night that he can and is going to be able to handle more difficult matches in the future. He's going to be one of those guys that's going to be able to go into say in a match with Taker or say in a match with somebody on Taker's level and prove himself in the ring. If you can prove, people used to have to prove themselves in the ring with Taker.
Call me biased, but I don't think anybody's ever going to get to Taker's level.
Nobody's ever going to get to Taker's level. But if you step in the ring with John Cena, who basically was taught lessons from The Undertaker,
the hard way, I'll beat it into you.
The hard way, I'll beat it into you. But the thing about it is, though, is that if you can get in the ring with John Cena in a last man standing match and you're still up and coming, then that proves to me and to everybody else that you can stand toe-to-toe with the best of them. And that's one thing about it. Bray Wyatt
That's
has...
the thing with Johnson. Toe-to-toe with the Undertaker. At first. Now, probably.
Yeah, but one thing about it, though, Bray Wyatt, honestly, I think if he didn't, he should. Bray Wyatt proved to the locker room, to the fans, and to everybody that he does deserve the respect given to an up-and-coming superstar. He's not asking for respect. He's not demanding it. He's going to be given respect because of how he proved himself Sunday night.
Always a good thing, I suppose.
It is a good thing because it's better, honestly, in the WWE, and I've always said this, respect is earned in the WWE, not given. You don't give someone respect. They earn your respect. If a superstar earns respect...
Taker is where he is at because he earned it.
Exactly. Everybody in the back, except for Big Nose, earned the respect of every man in that locker room.
Yeah, Triple H left with the last honor.
Just to intervene. Greetings to our. I know who's watching. I know you're there. Feel free to drop comments to let us know if you agree or disagree with us. And I'm actually trying to keep an eye on the comment section while we're going. So yeah, welcome to the. Welcome to the group. One of the viewers is actually me because I've actually had to open it in another window so I can actually watch it. But we've had one comment already, and I've replied to it. So yeah, onto the next match because we need to start moving forward. We need to start moving forward to Paige versus Alicia Fox for the WWE Divas title.
I am so glad Paige won.
I'm just going to point this out really quickly, because I don't want to dwell on it. Alicia Fox has gone nutty.
And
Alicia Fox is supposed to be batshit mental, though.
Yeah, but it's worse than AJ.
I didn't think she would be batshit mental AJ level.
Well, that's what they did. And, yeah. Paige picks up... Paige picks up the victory by submission, and I don't think it helps that the crowd were chanting, "You tapped out, you tapped out." As Alicia Fox, as you know, I'm expecting any day now. Alicia Fox has just come out and Alicia Fox has just come out now, holding somebody's head and go, She looked at me funny in catering, so I ate her, baby.
Did you happen to catch what she said at the end of the match? Because she said something, but I didn't quite catch what she said.
It says here she screams for the crowd to be silent, then runs up the ramp to the back.
Ah, that's what
she's going around calling everybody losers on Monday.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, Alicia Fox is a couple of sandwiches short of a picnic.
I am so glad Paige won that. We were all right.
As my favorite Winchester brother says, a few fries short of a Happy Meal.
So yeah, then we get to the show's main event, due mainly in part to the fact that Daniel Bryan and Kane, who at this pay-per-view were supposed to be having a buried alive match.
Thank you for breaking your neck, Daniel. Thank you. I know that sounds bad.
That sounds really, really bad.
No, but I don't want anybody but Taker to be involved in a Taker.
That sounds awful.
Yes, I know that sounded awful.
Yeah, fool. You do not thank a person for getting hurt.
Yeah, but the buried alive match is a Taker thing, okay?
Yes, I know it's a Taker thing, but still, don't thank the guy for
getting
hurt.
Dan. Yes, I know that sounded awful.
Yes, it did. That sounded awful. That sounded about as bad as that time you told. No, that was me. Never mind.
But either way, this is the Shield versus Evolution. We are gonna have to talk Raw after this, so yes. we'll give you fair warning before we actually get to the Raw segment, in case you haven't seen it yet or whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, this was a hell of a match.
This match was so freaking crazy. it should win Match of the Year at the Slammies.
I don't watch it, but Deanna like Skype and I can hear her on the
every
Oh my
one of
god!
every one of these matches they've had, Evolution versus Shield, has been awesome.
Everybody was broken and bloody and beaten and just couldn't even walk. I will never, for the life of me, know how Seth Rollins managed to jump from the top of the Titantron, land on Cream Puffs 1, 2, and 3, and still get up and walk the next day.
But we're all calling them cream puffs now. They're not Big Nose Blue Tista and Arcade Blow anymore.
We're just gonna call them Cream Puffs 1, 2, and 3.
The only interesting thing about this, and not to go into any great detail, but Seth Rollins, oh sod it, we're talking about it anyway.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins was putting this pretending to be a good guy thing really far, jumping off the balcony onto his new friend.
Yeah, so apparently jumping off the announce table and onto his new friend.
So, okay, if you guys are wondering what we're talking about, Seth Rollins turned on the Shield on Monday.
Yeah.
I
I like that thought. I really do.
glad somebody likes it.
I will put it this way.
I said to a friend today at work, I said, I am really looking forward to next week's Raw when Seth Rollins is clearly going to turn up in a suit.
Oh God!
I think the thing about the match though is that what really surprised me was after the beating and the physicality of that match, that all three of those men were still able to stand in the middle of the ring, even though Dean did have to lean on Roman because the poor man took a sledgehammer to the head.
Mm-hmm. Credit where it's due, Triple H. You still got it, my friend.
Barely.
No, he does. We've got to give him credit. He's been good. He's been good in all of these matches. He's been good in all of these matches.
Thanks for making me laugh, dude.
As much as you're predisposed to hate the match, he hasn't
had it, whatever you want to call it, since he wrestled Undertaker at WrestleMania 28.
Talent.
I think he's good. I think he was good in this.
He's
He's a fat man who can't wrestle anymore.
Hunter has lost his integrity to wrestling ever since he lost to Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam 2 years ago.
Maybe, but I think he's looked good in these matches with the Shield.
Because
you're definitely
he's got Cream Puffs 2 and 3 backing him up.
And they do most of the work.
Yeah, mainly Cream Puff number 2 does all the work.
Which one's that? Which one's that again?
Yeah.
Randy is Cream Puff 2.
Why do we have to call them cream puffs? Can't we just stick with what we know? Bautista, Big Nose, and Arcade Blow, I suppose. That thing.
But,
yeah.
I mean, honestly, Randy and Blue Tista, or as I'm going to start calling him the Cookie Monster, because God knows that blue on Sunday.
That was weird.
I love that. I absolutely love that Triple H and all. I love that.
Like, okay, I'm on Skype with Deanna, and all of a sudden I hear, Batista, what the hell are you wearing? And I'm like, huh? And she's like, he's wearing blue, and I'm like,
what was kind of funny is there's a screenshot that's been shown out that's got Orton and Triple H looking across at Batista with the caption, "Dave, what the fuck are you wearing?"
Exactly.
I said all black. We said all black, Dave. Don't make us look stupid. We said all black. We said all black, not something out of the Smurfs underwear drawer.
The thing about it is, though, is that, you know, they come out, Randy's wearing black, Hunter's obviously wearing black, here comes Bautista wearing this god-awful blue, and
this neon blue pair of trunks.
Everybody's looking at him going, why is the Cookie Monster wrestling with the Cream Puff Brothers?
All I know is Triple H does not have it, and Tom, I swear, you watch the shows drunk.
Well, yeah, that's the only thing that gets me through these shows these
A
days.
little too much mead there, my friend. But the match itself was...
Yeah, the match was good.
The match itself was crazy good. It was...
The mead is also good. Yeah.
If it doesn't make match of the year at the Slammies, it should, obviously, because it was the most...
It should at least be nominated.
The most physical, the most... And honest to goodness, not taking anything away from Taker at WrestleMania 30, but honestly, one of the most physical and downright badass matches of the year so far.
Taker at WrestleMania 30 wasn't so good. It wasn't really a...
Well, I mean, you know, Taker, to me, it doesn't matter. Taker's matches are always good. But this match, literally, I don't see how, unless you do something with, you know, unless they keep this rolling, unless they keep this whole Evolution Shield thing rolling.
Well, they clearly are. They clearly are because of the...
But the question is, how are you going to be able to top a match like that when obviously
without having the three guys, without having the six guys or however many guys kill themselves?
Well, the thing is, everything changes now. Everything changes now. Everything is new again because they've changed people's positions.
Here's the big question I'm going to ask, and I'm pretty sure half the world's asking it. Who is going to, quote, join the Shield?
Sami Zayn.
What?
Who is going to...
Sami Zayn.
Don't drag some rookie.
The red-headed dude from NXT, the one that had the triple threat with Ty?
Yeah, Sami Zayn, Sami Zayn, yeah, the development guy from NXT who used to be El Generico on the Indies and has more history or has almost as much history under his belt as Bryan Bloody Danielson.
He's got I've heard really good. I've seen the guy in action.
He's incredible. He's incredible.
I think he deserves a shot on the main. I think he's really good. He'd be a great addition. He's got the half-flying speed. He's got the speed and the agility. Not quite the artistic ability that Rollins has, but he's got the ability to be on the main roster.
Because I've never actually seen him, so.
Well, to be honest, you either use Sami Zayn or you bring up Adrian Neville.
Oh, please don't bring up Adrian Neville.
Let's not talk about Adrian Neville.
There is absolutely nothing wrong with Pac. Bring up Pac.
Yeah, therefore I hate him. Done.
Therefore, you insulted the Hearts.
Why do you hate him? I missed that.
He insulted
the Hearts.
Yeah, therefore.
Therefore, we hate him.
He's Pac! He's Pac! He's English! Bring up everybody who's English!
I don't care who he is!
You do not look a Hart man in the eye and say, per usual, and tell him the only person bringing home the gold in your family, per usual, is your wife? You don't say that!
Did not know that happened, but Tyson Kidd is a heel, so...
You still don't
Don't think the Hearts, especially in front of me, because that's
that's about as disrespectful as looking Bret Hart in the face and saying, you can't wrestle.
Help me. But yeah, this Shield versus Evolution match, clean sweep for the Shield.
I give 2 thumbs up.
I give it 2 thumbs up, definitely.
Just for the sake of it. Just for the sake of it, first elimination, Bautista. Second elimination, Randy Borton. Third elimination, The Nose, Triple H.
The Nose.
I prefer Randy Borton.
Okay, I give this match more than 2 thumbs up, but I only have 2 thumbs. So.
I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs up and a massive swig of mead.
I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs up and 5 stars. Definitely got to be on the board for match of the year.
Again, Triple H can go die in a hole. And so can Batista, but Randy, no dying in a hole. Randy, no dying in holes.
Randy is not allowed to die in holes.
Randy is more than welcome to borrow the hole.
Hey!
Randy is more than welcome to stop being cocky. But
Randy's good, except when he works with Hunter.
Randy gets a little cocky when he gets around Hunter. So, and as far as Batista
I think it's time for Raw. It's now time for Raw.
Yes, it is definitely time to talk about Raw.
So let's talk Raw. We're not gonna go into too much detail because Raw the night after a pay-per-view is a lot of rematches.
Yep.
But the things we need to talk about are as follows: Damien Sandow. Dude, seriously, whose cornflakes did you shit on?
I think he's going through an identity crisis.
Yeah, he's going through a I can't find a gimmick that works crisis.
Yeah.
No, I think he's going for a crisis. He shit on someone's cornflakes and they didn't like it. That guy is so much better than this shit.
Okay, I'm gonna point out two things. One, insulting Davey Crockett in Tennessee, biggest mistake he ever made. Two, insulting an NBA player, second biggest mistake he ever made.
Mm-hmm. But he came out as a basketball player and Big Show punched him in the face. Yeah, will that do? Other important things to talk about is your boyfriend of the month beat Kofi Kingston.
Shouldn't we talk about what happened with Batista and Big Nose?
We'll get there. Batista quits. Now we know Batista was going because Batista is in Guardians of the Galaxy, and so has to leave.
My usual thing is it was like, okay, he's doing the usual thing. He doesn't get what he wants, so he leaves.
Basically, okay, for an example,
he was going anyway, I think.
About 4 or 5 years ago, after Over the Limit, and after John put him through the floor, he basically sat in the middle of the ring in a wheelchair and cried.
Bret Hart.
Yeah, Danny complained to Bret. Bret, being a reasonable man, tried to reason with him, and he just goes, "I quit," and then cries his way back to the back and leaves the arena, never to be heard from again until now. And as usual, now he doesn't get what he wants, so he goes, "Bye-bye."
Batista's going to be in a big Marvel movie, so Batista is going to do well.
Yeah, okay, if you say so.
And I think he will be back at some point.
Yeah, when the money runs.
We have the continuation of the Adam Rose and Jack Swagger feud,
which is getting funnier by the minute.
Okay, as much as Adam Rose prances around the ring like a cheerleader with a lollipop in his mouth, he can wrestle.
He can.
I really like Adam Rose.
I just don't like the prancing and the.
He doesn't like to get.
What I like about Adam Rose is WWE are showing off with this Adam Rose character exactly how far behind the times they are. For anybody who knows anything about British celebrities, Adam Rose is clearly supposed to be Russell Brand.
Exactly. Who was the funniest?
And the thing is, Russell Brand was doing the Adam Rose stuff quite a few years ago, and it's sort of like WWE is so far behind, you know. But then again, this is Vince McMahon we're talking about. You know, Vince McMahon's brain is in the 1980s.
Vince McMahon is very old school.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon is just very old.
So I love my favorite thing about Adam Rose is when he comes out and he's shooting promo and he goes, "Where's my cheeseburger?" And out comes this guy in a cheeseburger suit, and everybody's thinking, the first time I ever heard that, I thought, why is the guy ordering a cheeseburger in the middle of the ring?
I'll say this again because I've said this on your pre-show talk thing that we did. I cannot wait for them to reveal the person who's in the bunny suit, and I hope it's somebody awesome.
That'd be fun. Oh my, Tom, again, thanks for the image of Taker in a fucking bunny suit.
Pulls off the head of the bunny in the Undertaker. How cool would that be?
Oh, that would be kind of cool. It's like he takes off the bunny hood.
Pulls off the head of the bunny and it's Hulk Hogan.
They're saying the possible people in the bunny suit are either Dolph Ziggler or Zack Ryder.
Okay.
Well, it has been Dolph Ziggler and it has been Zack Ryder in recent weeks, but I would just love it if he pulled the head off it and it was someone like Hulk Hogan or
That would
something.
be hilarious if he pulled the head off and there was Jerry.
Or Brett.
Or JR.
Bret Hart dressing up as a bunny rabbit.
Well, to be honest, it could be to bring somebody up from the other roster or whatever, but I just like the image of it being a legend.
Okay, I have one question. Aren't they supposed to bring up the Ascension to the main roster at some point?
It's something they're talking about, and I for one have pitched it, and I don't want this to make you uncomfortable in any way, TSG, but if we can't if we can't have any more Undertaker, could he manage the Ascension?
I've never seen them, so I couldn't tell you.
Well, the gimmicks fit.
The gimmick is about as about a perfect fit to the Ministry of Darkness as you can get nowadays.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't see Taker as a manager. Sorry, guys.
Well, I just look at it. I just look at it as if we can't have any more Undertaker matches, I would totally be at peace with him being a mouthpiece for the Ascension.
Let me ask her this, Robin. Do you think Taker would approve of the Ascension?
I don't know because I haven't seen them.
Okay, I'll put you this way. You remember how the Ministry of Darkness was?
Yes, I remember the freaking Ministry of Darkness.
Okay. The Ministry of Darkness downsized to these two guys. Just these two guys. And they are super good in the ring. They're super amazing. And they fit almost as perfect as Kane and Taker together.
Dyslexia.
Yeah, my dyslexia kicked in. Sorry.
I don't know. Let me see them wrestle, and I'll let you know the answer to that.
Okay, so we'll talk about that on the next time the next time the three of us get together to talk about stuff like this. But if the way I look at it is, if they're going to bring the Ascension up, I know they won't do this because I don't think Taker would ever come on a full-time schedule again. But if they could get Taker onto a full-time schedule and he can't go anymore, I would very much like to see him as a mouthpiece for the Ascension.
He's good at being a mouthpiece.
It could happen.
I didn't mean that as an insult either.
Even if it's a one-off and he turns up once and says these are my heirs or something.
That's like okay, that, and to Undertaker fans out there, that may have sounded like an insult, but I guarantee you that it wasn't.
It really wasn't. Even if he comes back and goes, these are something like these are the heirs to my power or whatever,
Or these are my
my new ministry. Yeah.
My prodigies,
Something like that, I'd kind of like it,
Something like that.
And the gimmicks fit. The gimmicks would fit, and that'd be kind of cool.
It wasn't insulting Taker by calling him a mouthpiece.
I know. Okay, what's the next thing we're going to talk about from Raw? Can we talk?
The big thing.
The thing
I still want to point out one thing. The whole thing with John and Stephanie.
Okay, go ahead.
Ken, what are you doing?
John was not trying to be harsh. He was just trying to tell the truth. He was basically trying to tell Stephanie, look,
The thing is, sometimes when you tell the truth, it is harsh.
It is hard, but John was basically saying, look, Stephanie, you don't like Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan knows you don't like him. He's not going to give you those titles because he knows.
Might not get them back.
Exactly. He knows at the end of the day that you're not going to ever give him another title shot. And she did point out that yes, John will admit it, yes, he has been stripped. But he knew he could come back and get another shot. Daniel, and I'm putting this out there because it's the truth, Daniel could surrender those titles. No question about it. He could surrender those titles, go home, heal up, come back, and never be given another shot at the WWE World Heavyweight Championship again, all because Stephanie McMahon doesn't like him. And the harsh reality of it is, Stephanie needs to stop letting her personal feelings get in the way of her work when she needs to basically say, look, I might not like Daniel Bryan, I might think he's a B-plus player, but he's an amazing champion. He gets over well with the fans. The fans love him. Everybody in the back pretty much respects him. So I gotta put my feelings aside and say, all right, I'll give him another title shot. But she's not gonna do it because, like John said, she doesn't give a crap what we think. She doesn't care what anybody else thinks. All she cares about is what she thinks. All she cares about is, to quote, best for business. What's best for business is she respects the fact that Daniel does not want to surrender the belt because he is afraid he will never get another title shot. And she also needs to respect the fact that even though Daniel is injured, he is still willing to come on the shows and put himself in harm's way just to prove to her that he is an A-plus player. She has to respect that. If she doesn't, Stephanie needs to take a step back.
How many freaking times has Daniel Bryan proven himself?
He's proven himself plenty of times. But Stephanie doesn't care. She doesn't care who is the face of the WWE as long as it's not Daniel Bryan. If she had it her way, she would strip Daniel of that title, give it to Kane, and I don't even want to say it, but it's going to have to be said. She could easily strip Daniel of the title, give it to Kane, turn right around and fire Daniel. But she can't do
my problem with that is don't give it to Kane. Make Kane earn it.
Exactly. But I will say this. If she was to do that and turn around and fire Daniel, she would have a full-out boycott riot on her hands because the fans would not stand for it.
Yeah. Tom, are you still with
I am indeed, yes. So, yeah, let's go on to the big deal of the show, which is a Shield promo. Dean Ambrose talks about how the Shield win, the Shield are good, the Shield are awesome. Evolution of 3 big stars, but they lost to the Shield. And then Triple H comes out. Evolution come out, sorry. Evolution come out, well, the 2 of them anyway. Triple H says Plan A failed. I will point out at this point, I really, really liked the big, massive shiner that Triple H had.
Yeah, I know.
So, Tom, I want to point out
the shiner looked really impressive.
I want to point out one thing that you did forget, though. Just before Randy and Big Nose came out, Roman Reigns said that the Shield were 3 strangers in the ring together. The Shield
Evolution was 3 strangers in the ring together. Stop scrambling your...
yeah.
Basically, what Roman Reigns said was...
The Shield of brothers.
Was 3 strangers in the ring, but the Shield were brothers.
And then...
And then Triple H said Plan A, which was to beat the Shield by force, failed. So Plan B comes into effect. Wow. Seth Rollins takes a step back and clocks Ambrose in the back with a steel chair.
And
I wasn't actually looking at the TV, and then, because I was sitting here playing Nintendo, and I was kind of paying attention to the TV, and then all of a sudden my mom goes, "What the hell?" And I look, and Seth Rollins upstairs. I'm like,
first thing I know, I will say this, I was shocked, I was confused, I didn't know what the hell was going on.
My brain auto-failed.
I did not put it together.
I was a little uncomfortable with the amount of times he hit Ambrose in the back.
And another thing that really made me uncomfortable was because had this happened the night before. Randy ripped off Roman's vest, ripped off his shirt, basically turned him up, and basically, honest to God, sacrificed the guy.
Yeah.
I was used as a sacrificial belief.
There's going to be a link in the description of Roman Reigns back.
After that chair attack.
That Roman posted on Twitter, and you can see his back both from Monday night and from Sunday night, and the caption on it says, "Trust is dead to me."
Mm-hmm.
And I cringed. I saw it and I'm like, ooh.
The first thing that went through my mind was, if that man does not have to have back surgery, he will be lucky.
Well, I cringed and I'm like, and people say this stuff is fake.
Correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, because my math is horrible, but I believe together, between him and Dean, I believe they took 20 chair shots total in one night.
Counting.
I think they took about a total of 20 chair shots.
I stopped counting after 2, going, that's enough. That's enough.
I think they got I want to estimate around 20 chair shots because they both just kept getting hit and hit and hit. And I am frankly really, really surprised that after Dean took a sledgehammer to the head, Roman took the kendo stick to the back. You know, I'm just surprised that those two were even able to walk.
Kendo sticks hurt. But I think it also depends on the person swinging it.
It depends on how hard you swing it. But and you'll see the damage done by the kendo sticks and the chairs in the picture in the description box below. But guys, this was not just. This was all.
Anybody who doesn't like wrestling happens to be watching this. You want to tell me it's fake now?
Yeah, exactly. You want to tell us it's fake now? Because what those guys just went through both Sunday night and Monday night was not fake. That was some real full-on beating. And you have got to be one strong-willed person to get up and walk after
that. I don't think even Batman can get up and walk after that.
So to get back onto topic a little, how surprised were we that it was Rollins who turned on the Shield?
Really surprised because everybody keeps saying it was gonna be Ambrose. Ambrose was gonna turn on him. It was gonna be Ambrose. Then people were saying no, it's gonna be Reigns. It's gonna be Reigns. And
nobody called Rollins.
Yeah, nobody.
Down to Seth, it was like everybody was like,
what? How
did I pass out and wake up in an alternate universe or something?
Okay, I'm going to say something, and you guys can agree or disagree, whatever, but if ever there was a moment of WWE where you're sitting there going, what the fuck? I think that was it.
Yeah. That and Mania, I think, are close on each other, to be honest.
Yeah, that and there was a funny little thing.
Mania was like, what?
The guy that got his fame from WrestleMania, they've been using his face a lot again. And the funny thing about it is that now, even though he is known as the guy with that face, now he's also known as the guy that everybody was looking like, oh my god, what the hell did Seth Rollins just do?
Yeah. So next week on Raw, do we see Seth Rollins in a suit? I think that'll be kind of cool.
There's a possibility.
I will barf.
That once again, you're back to that whole past, present, and future thing that it was originally.
Oh yeah, that's a cool little thing. Triple H is the past, Randy's the present, Rollins is the future, and I like that.
I need a trash can so I can barf in it.
Exactly.
I do like the whole Triple H is the Flair, Randy Orton is the Triple H, and Seth Rollins is the Randy Orton.
They
do need a new Batista, but you know.
I will say this, because this possibly has the potential to end the same way it ended the first time.
With Seth Rollins winning the title from Triple H.
And getting screwed
from
on
Randy
Orton. Getting it screwed. And then getting screwed by Hunter. It does have...
Most alliances end that way with him.
Well, I think that's cool, though. I do think that's cool.
Well, it depends on how you look at it, because honestly, Randy, when it happened with Randy, he was only 24 years old. So he was the youngest. Seth isn't that young, but I will put it this way. I would hope that in the end, when it's all said and done, that they would at least consider maybe giving Seth I don't care if it's a main title shot, if it's an IC title shot, if it's a US title shot. Give the guy a singles title, even if it's just for 2 months. Just give him some kind of title run after he has to go through with that, because anybody that works with Hunter deserves a singles title. Anybody that works with Hunter deserves a singles title. And I'm not just saying that because
Hunter deserves props, period, because they're working with an idiot.
And I'm just saying it like this. If you work with Hunter, you completely deserve a singles title because you went through hell when you worked with him.
My thing is, if you work with Hunter, you're going to get backstabbed.
But this does also have the potential to be a double cross.
It was already a double cross.
Yeah, but it has the potential to be a double cross again.
You know something? No, I don't think it's a double cross. I do think they'll push Rollins. Interesting thought, because we did mention Daniel Bryan and his injury. Steph did say on Raw that if Daniel Bryan is unable to compete at Money in the Bank, then the title will be up for grabs in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Is it just me, or is Bryan losing that title at that pay-per-view anyway? Not to Kane, but Bryan is. But they crowned
it first.
Well, no, because it's the Money in the Bank. It's Money in the Bank, isn't it?
What will happen is, if Daniel cannot perform at Money in the Bank, what she's gonna do is she's gonna strip him.
And it'll be up for grabs in the MITB.
She's gonna put it up for Money in the Bank. Whoever wins it is obviously gonna cash, possibly that night or possibly at
Well, that's the thing. What I think will happen is I think Bryan will be able to compete. I think he will beat Kane, and I think Mr. Money in the Bank, who I'm hoping is Cesaro, will cash.
Oh God, please no.
I will put it like this.
I claim Brock Lesnar conquered the streak, and now my Cesaro is the WWE Heavyweight Champion.
I'm gonna put it like this because John had a neck surgery and Adam had a neck surgery. When you have an operation on your neck, it is not something that you just come back from after a month. You can't come back that quickly.
Yeah, but what I mean is, what about if they fudge the match so that it sort of Kane just beats the.
It's a pay-per-view. They're not gonna fudge it.
They're not gonna fudge it.
I don't know. They could have it that Kane kills him off screen.
This is my opinion. They need it, and you guys can agree or disagree, but this is my opinion. They need to do this one of two ways. If Daniel cannot compete at Money in the Bank, then they need to have him come out and say, all right, look, the doctors haven't cleared me, I can't compete in this match, I will surrender the title, but under one condition. Whoever wins this title at Money in the Bank, I get first crack.
Yeah.
Pro Wrestling Insider says that they think he's not going to be able to compete.
Exactly.
If Cesaro wins, I'm buying earplugs and they will be in my ears every Monday, every Friday.
Don't you think?
Because I am already sick of Paul Heyman.
Are you not in any way? Are you not in any way potentially excited for a Cesaro Bryan match
No.
on Bryan and Kofi?
No.
I am, because that would be one hell of a wrestling match.
My second thing about this match. My second thing about this. If by some miracle Daniel is cleared to compete, which I don't believe he will be, because you can't come back from a neck injury that quickly. If he can compete, and he does go up against Kane, again, it should be, and he was to lose to Kane, at the following pay-per-view, which would be SummerSlam, Daniel should rightfully get his rematch with Kane. If Stephanie does exactly what Hunter did last year, then this is what Daniel should do. He should say, look, you screw me over again, I will take your title, I will shove it up your spoiled bitch ass, and I'm not saying he should walk, I'm just saying I will make it so you are haunted by me every week, because I will cause riots in your ring, we will have fan sit-outs, we will do all this until you freaking realize that you are nothing but an egotistic moron that doesn't do truly what's best for business.
So basically, it's like he would get screwed, and then he'd be like, "Well, I'm screwed, so I'm just gonna make whatever for you."
Because we all know Daniel is not CM Punk. He's not gonna walk out.
No.
Daniel is going to rally the fans just like he did before. He's gonna rally the fans just like he did before Mania. There's gonna be protest. I'm not saying there's gonna be protest, but he's gonna do what he did before WrestleMania. He's gonna get.
I think with that though, I would have been right in there with them. Granted, I wouldn't have been right.
He would get people in the crowd, in the middle of the ring. There would be the show would just come to a halt, and he would literally, because honestly, you saw how effective it was at WrestleMania. It was very effective. He's gonna have to do that again, but only if he is able to compete. If he is not, which I highly doubt he will be, then that needs to be, like I said before, the terms that I said, if he's not able to compete, should be put into play. If he is able to compete, those terms should happen. But something tells me in my gut that Stephanie McMahon is going to use her husband and some other fishy little sort of way to weasel her way out of this problem. But I got news for Stephanie. Number one, you're not your daddy. Number two, you ain't on the level as your father. And number three, you are no way, no how more clever than your dad, because your dad knows when to take a step back and reevaluate the problem.
Yeah.
You can't. Stephanie cannot step. She gets so hurt.
She gets so wrapped up in it, she can't go, okay, wait a minute.
She cannot. Vince can take a step back and say, okay, let me relook at the situation. Let me see what I can do. He takes the situation, he reworks it in his mind, and he pulls it off. And everybody's happy. But Stephanie lets personal feelings get in the way of what she calls best for business. Daniel Bryan, as of right now, kind of, sort of, he and John are carrying this company on their shoulders.
It's like the 90s all over again.
It's going to come to a point where Stephanie the fans don't like her enough as it is, but it's going to come to a point where somebody, preferably the boss, is going to have to come in, step in, and say, look, Stephanie, as you're my daughter, I love you, but I'm going to have to override you on this, because what you're doing is not only hurting my company, but it's hurting my reputation.
Because Vince is always, he doesn't really let personal feelings get in the way of...
Yeah. Vince, honestly, and this is what makes
And he
Vince
listens
so
to the fans, even though he says he hates us.
He listens to us. You might not act like he listens to us.
But he does.
You know, run the mouth, but he does. He listens to what we have to say. He listens to our reaction. He watches our reactions. And that's
And the only reason I know that is because I saw Shawn Michaels. I have a Shawn Michaels DVD, and I was watching a part about DX, and he was just like, "Well, the fans wanted DX, so we put DX back together."
Exactly. Vince does, honestly, and I honestly think he should.
We have gone way off topic.
Sorry, but I was trying to make a point of, you know, what could happen.
I so very nearly turned you down, but yeah, we went off topic a bit there, but so whether or not Daniel Bryan,
and I'm just gonna say this: I do not want to see Daniel Bryan versus Cesaro, because if Cesaro wins, I will put a hammer through my television.
So whether or not we see Bryan compete at Money in the Bank, we don't know at this point. WWE themselves don't know, and I would hazard a guess that Daniel Bryan himself doesn't know. So all we can do is wait until then. I'm sure we'll have stuff to say on upcoming vlog type things. Unless something major changes, the next time we three will be here together will be in the build-up to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, but that won't be here. That will be over on Bo Dallas's Country Bumpkins world of channel-based drama.
And I don't do these things, surprisingly.
You really should.
I don't do vlogs. I can't do vlogs.
The next vlog will be over on my channel.
So I think it's time for the plugging bit, because it's actually quarter to 12 here in the United Kingdom. So let's get on with the plugging. So since you know, again, we're talking about plugging after several rape jokes during the Cena Bray Wyatt match. Of which our one viewer at the time said the first thing he heard when he came into here was, "Now I'm going to rape you."
Oh my god!
So, yeah, Dallas's country bit on the side, I suppose. Let us know where you can be found in various places apart from Bo Dallas's bedroom.
As always, find me on Twitter at East Texas Country. You can find me on YouTube as Christina Angel. You can find me on fanfiction as Cena's Country Girl. I have a Tumblr, but I cannot remember my handle on there. So.
And of course, you can be found in Bo Dallas's bed every Wednesday between 10 and 12. Yeah, that was actually a joke.
Guys, if it's hearing this, please ignore it.
Yeah, that was actually a joke. Yeah, I've been drinking too much mead. So yeah, TSG, plug things.
I am on fanfiction and Twitter, and here as Taker Soul Girl. Well, here I'm Taker Soul Girl 22, but whatever. I am on Facebook at Robin Wired if you want to find out more about me, and read my stuff on fanfiction because people say it's awesome, even though I don't think so.
And you say that every month, and we disagree every month.
Every time we do a video.
Well, I don't think I'm awesome, but anyway.
We do. Anyway, yeah. So this has been well, I suppose the Payback pay-per-view discussion, the following Raw discussion, and I suppose one of those rant things. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you whenever. Content up every day on my channel. content up on Robin's channel whenever, and
I'm trying to get better about that, guys. So bear with me.
and how regular, how often do we get things on the Christina Angel channel?
Not very often. I don't really do a lot of videos, but I'm gonna try to start. I might start doing rant vlogs if I feel like I need to make a point.
Yeah. So you guys know what you've got to do. You've got to nip yourselves down to the comment section, write something awesome, something insightful, something entertaining, and then like the video. And
guys, I'm just gonna say something. If you're gonna say, "Well, this sucks," can you at least tell us why we suck?
Yeah, please, because I'll mention this in another video, but I got a comment, I got a review like that, and I didn't get.
It was like, "This thing is weird," and that was it.
Yeah, I was like, "This thing is weird. Why?" I was like, "Okay."
It's like, why is it weird?
So yeah, essentially, guys, what we're asking you to do is, if you're going to be negative, which you're not allowed. No, you can be negative.
You've
gotten comments like that too, where people are like, "Oh, you're."
Oh yeah, I get that. I get that shit all the time.
It's like, well, can you at least tell us why I suck?
If that's the way it has to be, then that's the way. I like it. So yeah, this has been a thing. I have been drinking so much I've started to sing. So this has been whatever it was, something that exists in the world. And you have been quite welcome. Like the video. If you even touch that dislike button, I will come for you in your sleep. Goodbye, everybody. Seriously, I know where you live because I'm Batman. No, I'm not. Bye.
Dun, dun, dun.